Sawadika. Hello everybody. My name is Napatsakorn Loha. For this clip, I would like to wrap up some information that I get from English for presentation and public speaking. This course I have learned in 3 lessons. The first lesson is about before presentation. The second part is the presentation, and the last part is about giving speech. In the first lesson that I have learned, it is the first impression. I would like to summary what I have learned. I start learning some key vocabularies. For example, the word judge a book by its cover mean in Thai ตัดสินคนจากภายนอก For example, this man may look very small and insignificant, but a man is very powerful man in his circle. And in other words, feel free to contact ติดต่อได้ไม่ต้องเกรงใจ you can keep contact me in my email, something like that. Next lesson I learned is about how to talk to the audience by using a small talk. Small talk is a light informal conversation. The topic that we usually use in small talk: introduce yourself. Then you might ask about surrounding, how have you been there before, and next, free time or hobby, what would you like to do in your free time, and also the entertainment, like I like watching some series from Netflix. How about you? And where the overall topic for small talk is about age, especially for the native English speaker. Next is your religions, politics, and money. These are the small talk tips that I have learned. So the next lesson I have learned is body language. You have to use 3 parts of your body. The first one is smile. You should begin your presentation with smile. We found that from the research, what people notice first when they meet people. The research found that they look at and notice smile 47%, eye 31%, smell 11%, cloth 7%, and hair 4%. It sounds that smile is very important. Well, the next part of body is your eye contact. You have to use eye contact to all audience in your room. It depends on the class size as well. If the room is quite big, you might pick some audience on the right and some audience on the left, and then look through the whole class. For the small class, maybe you have to look to everyone equally. For avoid things that you shouldn't do or don't do, to keep your eye contact is you don't look at someone or one person such a long time. It is look awkward and impolite. The next part of your body is your hand. How to use the hand effectively. I have learned that one is you have to try to open your arms like a big bear hug, and then you have to use your arm when you want to count something, like listing 1, 2, and 3, and you can use like a small amount, like a tiny or small thing. And for another one is you might do like this if you want to raise their attention from your audience, like this is important that I would like to mention, something like that. For another gesture that you don't do for using hand is don't close your arm during your presentation, because it's look bossy, and don't put your hand into your pocket, is impolite. Well, for the last lesson is about how to deal with the fear. I learned many tips. For example, breathe when you feel nervous or you feel fear before you start a presentation. To do this, you have to hold your breath For about 10 seconds. You have during you inhale and exhale until you feel relaxed. And for the next tip is sip water during you present on the stage. And the next one is don't stop thinking about yourself in both of failure or your success, and you should focus only on the audience and your topic. That's that's all of what I have learned in my first lesson. Smile. You have to keep smile during your do the presentation. Smiling is very easy. Well, for the second lesson is about the presentation. I'll start learning by some key vocabularies. For example, deal with รับมือกับ example sentence. I am a teacher, so I have to deal with the naughty student and be patient. Then I learned some grammar structures such as how to say number, especially a long number. It starts from 100, 1,000, million, and billion. And then learn how to read foreign currency in pounds and dollars. Next, I learned expression words to show contrast word and describing trends, such as on the other hand ในทางตรงกันข้าม however อย่างไรก็ตาม whereas ขณะที่ therefore ดังนั้น for example I like listening to pop music, whereas my mother like listening to classical music. And another grammar that I have learned is using direct and indirect question. Indirect question are used to make a more polite answering question. For example, you start by could you tell me, would tell me, and do you mind, something like that. Well, for the content that I have learned in this lesson is getting started, talking about slide presentation, the graphs, describing trends, ending presentation, and the way how to answer and make questions to the audience. Next, I would like to summarize what I have learned in each topic. In gathering start is on the first step before you start your presentation. You should to call attention to the audience. There are many places that I have learned. For example, can I have your attention please? Let me introduce myself, blah blah blah. I am from blah blah. Today topic is about blah blah blah. The next is talking about the slide. I also learned how to use effectively visual aids, especially PowerPoint slide. I learned some tip how to design PowerPoint slide. The tip is the rule of 6. In each slide consists of a maximum of 6 slides per slide and maximum of 6 words per line. If the slide is not much more information, the audience will easier see and it can follow your presentation. Also, some data could be shown in the slide, especially a chart. Many kinds of charts are shown. For example, pie chart, table chart, graph, and in this lesson too. For example, the chart is about the number of the tourists from this year. The largest number of tourists are from America, and blah 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 blah. The last lesson of this session, to sum up or ending the presentation, it is conclusion of the presentation. I learned some sentence how to speak for conclusion. For example, when the ending of the presentation, you could say thank you all for listening. Are there any questions? As a final point, I would like to blah blah blah. And after that, it's time for you to answering and question to the audience. For example, if you cannot answer the question, you can say, I am sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that again, please? Okay, that's all what I have learned for this lesson. Thank you. The last lesson that I have learned about giving a speech. There are some topics that I have learned: preparation for giving speech, the opening speech and how to say it, the body of the speech, the powerful ending, and practice making perfect. Where I would like to expand some information for each topic. First is how to prepare your speech. There are 2 steps of preparing. first one is gathering your information by doing asking yourself some question, WH question. For example, who's in speech for the answer? Maybe you get the number of attendee, age, gender, nationality, job, and so on. The next step is brainstorming. You use mind mapping to draw your or get your information or get idea. To do this, you can make your script and you can link the idea together. Well, for the opening speech, the speaker use a hook to open speech. The hook can be of for the following example: quote. You choose four quote for the famous people. For example, J.K. Rowling quote, "What is life without a little risk?" The next is question. You start your asking question by using why question to the audience. For example, why the pollution is increasing every day. Well, the next topic is about the body of the speech. You choose start by telling your story with the purpose, such as the love story, rag to riches, stranger in a strange land, and also story should keep short and use rule of three. It means that limit your representation to three learning points that you want the audience to take away. Well, the last one is powerful ending and practice make perfect. The end of speech, you may use the following techniques: ending with story of anecdote, ending by using quote, ending by using contrast, ending by conclusion, ending by delivery call to action. For preparing or rehearsal, before you start giving speech, you have three choices. Which one is suit for you? There are three choices. First one, reading speech word for word, memorizing your script, and using cue or note cards. If you are a novice, the first speaker, you may use reading speech word for word because you can read through your script. And if you are more professional, you can use memorizing your script because it can make the audience more interesting. And for using cue or note cards, both novice and professional can use. Well, at the end of this clip, I would like to say that I have learned a lot of tips and a lot of content, grammar use for English presentation and public speaking. Thank you. สวัสดีค่ะ